welcome everybody to the session on the Women in STEM Scholarships by Teesside University. So we're very happy again to host the host this event, yeah, and of course our colleagues from the British Chambers of Commerce Indonesia, who have approached us to also do this together. And we're generally happy that any information session that's going to be very, very helpful for our students or alumni in particular is very much welcome. And we're hoping that we believe that the students will benefit, especially this in particular is in the context of women in STEM in particular and STEM related subjects. And so generally speaking, we support any initiative that's related to inclusiveness, when it comes to education. And I believe that this is also part of that sort of like movement. So that's something that's exciting. And and I would like to say thank you also to Ms. Jun and Ms. Sui, who are here as well, who are here to present to the audience, our students or alumni on this opportunity. So I think without further ado, that is all from me, and hopefully everybody's going to enjoy the presentation. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Pak Andika, for the wonderful remarks. Now I'm going to invite Jun Chai, the Regional Director for Southeast Asia at Teesside University, to deliver her welcoming remarks. Over to you, Jun.
Thank you, Rizky, and thank you, Pak Andika, for such a welcoming note to us. And thanks once again to Richam. My heartiest thanks to everyone who carve out a bit of their time and spend their afternoon with us today. Teesside University is a unique proposition in every sense that you can think of. When we talk about Teesside University, we talk about our value proposition, and also the courses that we have remains relevant in the industry, whether it's for now or in the next 10 years. But one of the key areas that we have been very, very strong with since 2020 is always advocacy towards women's empowerment. We have a lot of activities on campus as well as international activities where a lot of effort is put in to connect women, to connect girls with other schoolgirls in the UK, making sure that they are aware what is happening across the globe and they can nurture their interests as well as other skills together. At university, we also have a lot of women in key positions as well. I'm always very proud with Teesside University in the sense that we have 5 regional officers everywhere. 3 of these regional officers are headed by female. So take that, that's women empowerment, and that is the real sense of what we've been striving for. So naturally, when we, the region over in East Asia, we have received the Women in STEM scholarship. We are overjoyed by it. This is the 2nd year we've been getting it, and we hope there will be a lot of talents from ITB applying for this scholarship, as we believe that Teesside University will be a wonderful place for you to be nurtured and propel you into the career where it's still mainly dominated by the other gender. And there are a lot of opportunities for you with us, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you. And thank you once again.
All right, thank you, Jun, for the warm welcome. And now, without further ado, I'm going to hand over the screen to Sui, the Regional Officer at Southeast Asia at Teesside University, to share her presentation, and it will be followed with Q&A session and quick updates from Richam Education Center. Over to you, Sui.
Thank you, Rizky. Thank you, Pak Andika, for the opening, and really, really appreciate the welcoming us back, I would say. I think this is our 2nd virtual visit at ITB. I think the first session I had was about animation, and now this is my 2nd time sharing with all the students, all the para hadirin over here about women in STEM. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Again, It is also thanking our partner over here, BridgeChamp Indonesia, for organizing all this fantastic activity. So thank you guys. Now, I'd like to share my screen right now. So please let me know if you are able to see them. Is everyone able to see my screen? Right, great.
Yes.
So thanks, Rizky. So today will be a little bit more slightly on the technical side. So June has already given like a really brief overview what women in STEM is all about: inclusivity, diversity. So today is a little bit more detail about this women in STEM. So it's an information session for everyone over here. Now, Teesside has always been welcoming, especially to international students, and therefore they set up regional offices all around, I would say all around the world, okay? And the objective is actually to diversify the students population, namely from all other nationals in the world. And so having this kind of scholarship, working together with British Council, so it's nothing surprising. Okay, in fact, we are growing this pool of special scholarships. So we started with Great Scholarship, then afterwards we moved into Women in STEM. So this, I believe this is the second Women in STEM scholarship that we have been given that opportunity to offer to the women gender folk, all right? And first time it was with the Afghanistan, and now the second time now we are opening this to all mostly Southeast Asian nationals. Now, if you see over here, yes, we are still on an institutional mission to populate the university with lots of nationalities, with the culture, the economies, and to enrich the environment, not just at the university, but it will also translate to the region, the Middlesbrough region. So because we are rich in manufacturing facilities many years ago, and now it has been is transforming to become like with the digital city, and now with all the I won't say microbiology, but rather biopharmaceutical industries. Now, one of the achievement is, I won't say achievement, but rather milestone, is that Novavax, so one of the COVID-19 vaccine, is actually manufactured in one of the factories, one of the manufacturing center in Middlesbrough, which is Fujifilm Diosynth. Okay, this is just for everybody's information. So this is how we have grown, and we are very happy to have a lot of talented students, whether it's male or female, to join that community. Now, but specifically today, we're talking about women in STEM. Now, a little bit quick background about the university. 90 over years of background in teaching, learning, and innovation. So this is more about the external reputation that you see right in front of you, right? And most of all, I think one of the proud, I would say, we have always been proud with all these kind of achievements. Then one of the proudest achievement would probably be, the recent proud achievement is one of the first Adobe Creative Campus in Europe, which means students of all level, whether it's UG, PG, or even at the postgraduate level, at the PhD level, they're able to use the industry level software by Adobe, in their studies or in their work. So, and what we mean is that it's real life skills that they've gotten upon graduation. Now, that's the external reputation or ranking or recognition that is being given to us. Now, let's look at internal. What I mean by internal is that how students, I would not say perceive, but experience with us. Now, right in front of you, that's International Student Barometer, starting in a couple of years ago, but this is 2020 statistics, and afterwards 2021 as well. Now, you see that there are 4 categories, the screen on your left: learning, support, living, and arrival. And you see that on the screen on your right, that's the overall satisfaction. So you see that all these 4, if not the overall categories, we've scored really high percentile, like above 90%. So that tells us that students are really happy with us, not just the physical part of the campus that you and I can see, feel, and touch, but also what are the internal experience that they've gotten within them. while they are studying over there, whether it's 1 year, 3 years, or even 5 years with us. So you can see there, they really appreciate that kind of experience, and therefore it translates out in the International Student Barometer. There are a lot of full details on our website, so please feel free to check it out. Now, where is Teesside? We are at this place called Middlesbrough. So there is this tiny little place over here, and it's easily reachable, whether it's by air or by land transport, because in the UK, it is very well connected from the north, right in Glasgow in Scotland, all the way down south to London and other places as well. So train stations just about 10 minutes walk away from the university, and the bus station is just 5 minutes away from the train station and about another 5 minutes to the university. So it is really, really accessible. And I like to quote one of our previous alumni. He says it's one-stop center, because the moment he walked out of his accommodation, you have all the groceries, you have all the makan-makan, you have all the pharmacies, right at his disposal. So it's just a matter of which he could throw a stone and then decide what he wants or where he wants to go. Now, on your screen, on the right side, those are the beautiful landscape, slightly out of Middlesbrough. Some are as further away as to, Newcastle is not here, but Whitby on the top right, which is the birthplace of the story called Dracula. So you could Google about that. Otherwise, for those who are rather outgoing students, so go to Roseberry Topping, which is on the bottom left, and you can get to see, I think that was what I was being told, that is the highest peak of the Northeast, and you can see the town center and other surrounding areas as well. There's even I think there's a photographer as well, and he actually put it on YouTube, and he photographed all 4 seasons of Roseberry Topping. So anyone who is photography enthusiast, please check it out. Now, first year international students, we have this, it's not policy, but rather an assurance to international students. If you are a first-time international students enrolled, accepted to Teesside University, we shall prioritize your accommodation with us for the first year. And you can see we, with different budgets, and of course, with different budgets, then the range of accommodation is also a bit different. So say, for example, at the top line there, like Cornell, Central, and King Edwards, that would be ensuite accommodation, meaning you have an attached bathroom in the room. All right. Of course, you share the accommodation or that space with other about 5 or 6 students per house, depending on size of the apartment or the house. But otherwise, you have a private bathroom just for your own use. Okay. Well, of course, when it comes to cleanliness, you have to be responsible for that. But any general area, so there will be assigned cleaners to do the job. It doesn't mean that you will be very sort of say, oh, okay, we have a cleaner there, then I'm not going to do much of the work. You still need to contribute a little bit to the house, yeah, for the harmony of your housemate. Okay, we call that. Now, learning experience over the years, I think for the past 10 years or so, the campus has seen a lot of transformation, facelift, even new addition, I would call that, because I've seen that throughout the years. So a lot of facilities have either been upgraded or entirely new buildings has been constructed to fit in new teaching and also learning experience, whether it's for students or even for the staff as well. So on your left, that would be the National Horizon Center. That's where the center of all the research of biotechnology. Right, so that's where it's going to be used. And you have business school, and you have a new building coming up, and as well as the Cornell Quarter on the further right, which is accommodation, and it just started like a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. Now, it's not just facilities itself. We believe that students are going to be there for like at least about a year, if not 3-5 years. That depends on the duration of the course. Now, we believe that students' welfare is important. So whether it's about the accommodation or maybe their mental health and well-being, like sports, we have gym for that. Or if let's say they have any issues about they wanted to talk to someone, maybe they need some counseling help, which I think the COVID-19 pandemic has actually exacerbated this mental health. And right now, I think a lot of people are willing to talk about it and even share the experience. So yes, we have all this in place for students. Safe Zone app is important because we wanted students, all the students, to install this application, and it's actually to help them. Say, for example, you have any emergency, they needed help, or if they meet up with any accident, say, for example, they are injured at home, and so happen no one else is there. So by using this app, okay, help can be alerted, and then security from the campus will be able to reach out to them and even go to their accommodation and check the students if they're okay, and of course, if any medical emergencies help need to be secured, that will be arranged as well. So that's the example. And faith and well-being, we have suraus, we have churches, we have mosques. So we have all this in place for the student. Now, that's in general about what the university can provide to the students when they're there. Now, today we're talking about scholarships for women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now, this program is very much specifically for the women folk. Now, why is that? Now, the reason being that I think this is also not scientifically proven, but statistically proven that women folk somehow are not very much involved in the STEM industry or the STEM sector. So therefore, schemes like this are being introduced by lots of various government agencies in the UK. So British Council is one of them. Office for Students is also one of them, to encourage women folk to take up STEM knowledge, skills, okay, and be part of the industry, because Industry 4.0 it's already here, okay, it's already in application. So and they needed more talent to fill up the sector. Like it or not, this is happening. So not to say that the menfolk is being neglected, but we know the menfolk is already there, but we just need to have I wouldn't say a balance, but be fair to the softer gender or the women folk. Why don't we take it up rather than just going for business, social sciences, and other subject area. So that scholarship is worth £35,000, and that can cover the full tuition fees, your monthly stipends, a return economy class ticket, and other costs with study-related costs such as IELTS exam fee, visa application fee, or even an NHS surcharge. Okay, so how does that go about? Then there will be a lot of nitty-gritty details over here. Now, who's eligible? So, of course, you have to be a woman, passport holder or PR of either of these countries like Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, or Vietnam. You probably have seen one or two countries are not listed there, but let's not go into that. We do not want to create enemies, okay, because of this. Now, and one of the conditions is that the student must not have previously studied at degree level in the UK or have lived recently in the UK. So it's just to be fair to the students, yeah? And they are not in any financial support or receive any funding to study in the UK. And the courses that, and we have to be very specific of not all STEM courses that we are open to accept students for this scholarship scheme. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 courses. These are STEM. In a STEM related subject matter, and they must intend to study a 1-year master starting in September 2022. So there's further details on the website, and they have to apply to one of the courses, okay, that's listed, one of the 7 courses. There's a separate application, which means they need to apply to get an offer letter from the university. And after that, they need to put in a STEM scholarship application, which is on the web link in my previous page as well. They can find that separate application. Now, not only the student need to indicate what the basic information personal information in the page, but they need to tell us or tell the panel eventually, what is the motivation behind applying for the scholarship? Now, the financial incentive is very, very attractive, but you have, the student has to demonstrate that they are already in that particular area. It would be better. If not, they have that keen interest and they wanted to develop themselves in that. And when they come back to their home country, that they're able to contribute what they have learned when they are at the university. Okay, the deadline to submit the application is on the 31st March, UK time, 5 p.m. And they will be notified sometime in late May or early June. Only the successful applicants will be notified. And from there, we are looking at students who demonstrate that they have really good academic results, academic ability. They are able to inspire the next generation, okay, about why is she doing STEM? What is the motivation behind, or probably what is the experience? What do they see in the career trajectory that they are going to see themselves? They are of a certain position, able to contribute back to the society in the STEM area. Now, what we expect from the student is that they're able to be the face, to represent the women in STEM and British Council and the State University for some marketing activities. So as an ambassador, external events that could be British Council events or could be the university events, because you've got the scholarship, you are a recipient. So if I'm a student and I get that, wow, okay, I have someone, my senior, as a scholarship recipient, I'm going to be really curious, how did you get that scholarship? So how did you get that, and what did you have to do? So they have to share that experience. And hopefully this is what we're talking about, be that inspiration, be that beacon of light, for the next generation. Now, what are the entry requirements for the postgraduate course, one of the 7 postgraduate course? In general, we need them to already have an S2, okay, and with a minimum GPA of 2.5/4. Or if they have polytechnic, but okay, so that will be a minimum GPA of 2.6/4. Now, for the English language requirement for that 7 courses, now different courses will ask for different scores of the IELTS. So you have to sit for the IELTS test, right? And some of them they would need, at minimum is 6.0, nothing less than 5.5 individual. But let's say, for example, like MPH, Master of Public Health, they probably need either 6.5 or 7.0. Need to check on the website, but definitely higher than 6.0. Okay, so please check on the website what is required for the scores, the IELTS scores for the particular course that you are interested to apply in. Okay, so who are the people that will decide the scholarship? Who will receive that scholarship? Okay, so you can see in front of you, it will be, there are some member of a committee over here, so that's going to be quite a number of people over here. It will be chaired by the Pro Vice Chancellor International of the university. So for us, it will be Teesside University. Then we will have a few schools, Associate Dean International from the schools, they will decide, and some of the international office team to decide who will be the best recipient to receive the scholarship. Now, June did mention there are various activities that involves the women folk that the university embarks on, and these are some of the examples. I think one of the really good example is that the international school exchange. So what happened is that we start them from young as primary schools is like what, grade 1 or grade 1 to 6, depending on how we call label the school years. And what we want is that girls from the local Middlesbrough school, primary school or Sekolah Rendah, okay, they connect with year 6 students from the Navy Children's School in Goa, India. So they have this kind of virtual exchange information, talk about daily lives, what's their aspiration, and it all started them from young, start them to nurture that kind of interest in mathematics, or probably in biology, probably in science, curious about innovation, how does some metal comes about, what are metallurgies, that kind of stuff. Now, metallurgy is a bit on the high end, but rather how little things that all started from something that sparks their interest. And that's what we wanted to do. So once they start to go into teenage years, 16 to 17, that's what we want them to hear. We want to hear from them. As a counselor like myself, it's like, I wanted to do something in engineering. I wanted to do something that's related to biomedical science, about viruses, about body, about DNA, that kind of stuff, or anatomy, biology. That's the start, all right? So that's what we wanted. Now, I think another thing that about the university is involved with, okay, so we have this gender charter, Athena's one, bronze award, and what this bronze award is all about is a mark, an equality mark that recognizes that the university has always been set up good practices and being committed to gender equality in higher education, specifically in higher education. And through that activity in the previous slides, that we encourage young females go into STEM fields, and through a lot of initiatives as young as 6 years old. I mean, as young as 12 years, 6, okay, 11 to 12 years old. So, and there are some events like Hello World to inspire female students, okay, to consider a career in computing. Now, that's part of STEM technology industry as well. So, and these are the few female speakers in various industries like gaming, animation, games design. Some of them are entrepreneurs, and these are the few. This is just a lineup, and it happens every year. So it's they come over to the university, they share with the students, whether you are women or men, come over, listen to what they have done, what makes them want to do what they wanted to do. Okay, so that is really an inspiring session for the students. Now, some of you may ask, okay, so what would be the fees that the school is covering, or the scholarship is covering? So tuition fees at Teesside University for the postgraduate courses, the 7 postgraduate courses is £14,000, and the scholarship will cover the deposit that is required. Usually it's £4,000, and the scholarship will cover that fully. And just for information, we do have really attractive payment scheme, and which means the students can opt to pay the remaining tuition fee after the deposit is either in one shot, which is one payment, or 3 or 7 installment payment, interest free. We don't charge any interest because we don't do that. All right. Now, briefly, apart from Women in STEM scholarship, what does the university provide other sort of scholarship? So apart from the Women in STEM, we have great scholarships, okay, that's £10,000. Now, this year we are only managed to offer it to fellow Malaysian students, okay. Now, there's another OFS, which stands for Office for Student. So this is conversion MSc scholarship, also in 2 courses, applied artificial intelligence and applied data science, only at master's level. Yes, it's offered to all Southeast Asian students. That's £10,000. That covers like almost 3/4 of your tuition fee already. Okay, so pretty good, attractive offering over here, and it's an external scholarship. It's not from the university. Okay, we also have fully funded PhD studentship. All right, for various subject area, but you got to check on the website. Now, the deadline is pretty near, which is 28 February. I know some students are working really hard for that. So please check out on our website what are the subject area that has obtained the fully funded studentship, PhD studentship. So you got to really prepare that. Okay. Now, the other one, which is our internal scholarship, would be the Vice Chancellor Scholarship worth £5,000. Offered to all undergrad and postgraduate or S1, S2, okay, level at Teesside. Same goes for Global Excellence Scholarship, which is £2,000 as a fee discount. Now, this is meant for students who will exceed the entry requirements, and is open to all S1 and S2 level. Dean Scholarship, which is the school level scholarship. If you see over here, MIMA stands for School of Art and Design. and School of Social Sciences, Humanities and Law. That's worth £3,000 deducted from your tuition fee, as well as International Development Scholarship. And specifically, we partnered with BridgeChamp for a specific course, which is Master of Science in Chemical Engineering. It will cover full tuition fee. Now, my partners here from BridgeChamp will be able to give you the full details afterwards, right? Okay, and all I can say is that I just want to give a shout out to BridgeChamp. Yay. And of course, another one, which is not scholarship, but rather a tool, a learning tool. Now, this is only meant for S1 aja, yeah? Okay, now, if you join us in year 0 or integrated foundation year or year 1, okay, S1 at year 1, okay, we will give you a free iPad with its accessories like the compatible keyboard and up to a £300 learning credit in your student card to buy your learning resources, right? And it's offered to all students that enroll with us at S1. Sorry, S2 the other, yeah? Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Okay, now some of the email addresses, and you can WhatsApp me or send me an email for further inquiries, or even you can reach out to BridgeChamp if you have any further inquiries. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. All right, so thank you everyone, and I wish everyone please stay safe wherever you are, and I'm going to pass back to Rizky and BridgeChamp team.
All right, thank you very much, Sui, for the insightful and informative presentation. Now I'm opening the Q&A session, and if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions on the chat box or by clicking the raise hand feature on this platform. So actually, we do have one participant would like to ask. Dena, over to you.
Hi, Sui. Actually, I have one question, if I may.
Sure, please go ahead.
It is stated that the scholarship covers monthly stipends for the 1-year duration of study. Could you please further elaborate what's the average amount given to the awardee monthly? And whether the applicant could take TOEFL instead of IELTS?
Okay, first question is how much is the monthly stipend will be given, isn't it? Okay, so if you take, I would like to quote the UKVI cost of living over here, because if you know that it's £14,000. So £35,000, you take out the £40,000, you still have about, okay, help me out with the mathematics over here. Now, UKVI states that any, if you're staying and studying outer UK and inner London and outer London. So inner London, the cost of living, which is your makan, minum, tempat tinggal lah, okay, cost of living, okay. So that's going to be £1,203 if I'm not mistaken, okay. So, but if you are outside of London, that is 1023 if I'm not mistaken. So which means that you're going to need about like £12,000 plus minus, okay, with your makan minum tempat tinggal, which is more than enough for Middlesbrough, because my student can get by about like 900, 950. The makan minum tempat tinggal. So which means you still have some excess money, okay. So that would cover your, as I mentioned just now, your cost of the return air flight ticket, and even your IELTS exam costs, right? So yeah, it's more than enough actually. If you are using the like I said just now, if I'm using the UKVI cost, which is the recommended cost of living, versus what the real case study whereby my students, how they use their cost of living. So yeah, that's more than enough. And the second question again, Dina, which is apart from IELTS.
Yeah. Could the applicants take TOEFL instead?
Yes, they do, because we do recognize that as well. But I would highly recommend IELTS, because put it this way, IELTS is very much very useful for UK institutions. And I believe quite a number of students would also apply to other UK institutions as well. So rather than jumping from this institution asked for this institution asked for that, why don't you take IELTS, which is valid to go to the UK, all UK institutions. all Australian institutions. Just take one and then your problem is solved.
Okay, thank you, Sui.
You're welcome, Dina.
All right, Dana, thank you for your questions. So Sui, I actually received question privately. And the question is, will I get the opportunity to work while studying, including part-time job?
Okay. Yes. UKVI states that students can work part-time during term time, maximum 20 hours per week. Now, how does the term time, how do you define as term time? So I'll relate back to Teesside University's term time over here. So for UG and even PG, okay, let's look at UG, SR2. So your term starts from September to May. So that's about 9 months. Okay. So term 1 or SEM 1, September to January, and SEM 2 starts from January to May. So these are called term time. Okay. And during this term time, you can work up to 20 hours per week maximum. I'm sure the term time you're also aware that there are some long holidays like Christmas and Easter holidays. Now, during Christmas holidays, I think the university has about like 3 weeks holidays. I think the Easter round about the same, could be about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. Now, during these holidays, because there are no classes, you can work more than 20 hours per week. And summertime, you can definitely work more than 20 hours per week because you don't have any classes. You're waiting for classes to start your new semester, a new year, new academic year to start in September. So yeah, you can go ahead to work more than 20 hours per week. So what kind of jobs that you'll be looking at? I mean, it depends on you. If you wanted to look for jobs on your own, okay, or we have a job shop set up at the student union. You know, there is a whole board on leaflets and all sorts there. Students could just go there, find whatever jobs that they think that they like, and then they can just call the employer, or either they will call for the interview, then go for it.
All right, thank you, Sui, for the answer.
No problem.
Actually, we do have another questions on the chat box. I'll read the question for you.
Sure.
Since the deadline for Women in STEM scholarship will be the end of March, when will the deadline for admission? And thus getting the LOA before applying the scholarship is a mandatory step.
Okay, that will be a few questions over here. Will be end of March. When will be the deadline for admissions? Leah, when you say deadline for admissions, are you referring to going to the UK or the deadline to submit the application? Okay, so maybe you can clarify that on the chat for us as well. Okay, does getting LOA before applying a scholarship is a mandatory steps? No. Okay, on our website, it didn't say it should be a mandatory step. Okay, but I would still want you to submit an application because that's how we can tell whether students are serious in getting the scholarship, because there will be personal information, and remember there will be a committee that will assess all the scholarship applications coming in. So yes, you still need to submit the application to study at the university, but it doesn't. But you could submit the scholarship first and then follow up by the course application submission. Is that okay, Leah? Right, Leah, could you type on the chat box and clarify for everybody? I just want to be clear deadline for admission. So are you saying that this is referring to you reporting at the university, or deadline for applying for the course application? Okay. So while we wait for the
while waiting, I think I have another question. See, that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Could you further elaborate, Sui, how Teesside University is going to assess the scholarship application? Will the assessment will be fully rely on the SI, or are you also looking on the academics achievement as well? Perhaps it would be great if you could give us hints or tips.
Well, the clue is already very obvious in the presentation just now. Good. Okay, they're looking at two. One, academic achievements, right? Okay. And two, what is your motivation? So be very specific. Be very clear what you want to get out from this scholarship. okay, which is your academic knowledge, and knowledge, you understand them and then you can apply them in the real world. All right, so be very, very specific, very clear. I know that you are limited by the number of words in your essay, in the scholarship essay, but be authentic. I know it's very hard to display that in writing as opposed to we are online and we can feel it even virtually, right? So, but it really depends on how you write your essay. Plus, of course, being an achiever helps, but sometimes maybe your academic may not reach that kind of standards, but because you are so sincere in your essay, probably move the committee a little bit to, they give you the scholarship, kan? All right, so that's all I can say, because what I can see from there is that two things. One, academics ability. Second, your motivation.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Sui. That is very useful. So back to Leah. What she meant is the deadline of admission to Teesside University. I mean, do you have any specific dates or key dates for application, for PG applications?
At this moment, we are still awaiting the decision from admissions and the relevant team members. So I would say, Leah, please submit as soon as possible. Secepat mungkin. Okay, please don't wait for the deadlines, because remember, you are not the only student who is applying. The scholarship is open to other nationals from other Southeast Asian countries. It will get piled up. Okay, so please apply as soon as possible. June, I see that your hand is up, please.
Hi, Sui. Hi, Leah. Hi, everyone. Just to add on to your question, for some reasons, no, for obvious reasons, the university is very popular. So quite a number of courses are already closed. So we would encourage you to put in the application. Do not need for application deadline. One of the reasons is not because anything else, but the deadline of 31st of March. And the soonest you have all the documents completed, you've applied, you have met all conditions, your application for the Women in STEM would be a lot more solid compared to those that are not with any applications, not meeting the offers. So I hope that answers your question. Just to add on a little bit to what Sui has mentioned.
Thank you.
Hope that helps.
Helps very much.
All right, thank you, June, and thank you, Sui. Just to add the questions, is it true that students can submit the application even though they haven't already got any IELTS or TOEFL?
Yes, yes. Please go on and do that first, because we can wait for your IELTS. Okay. It actually, I think we did actually state that in our website as well. We can wait for the IELTS or the relevant English language qualification. In this case, IELTS. All right, we can wait. But go on and submit the application ASAP.
All right. All right. So thank you, Sui. I think if there is no more questions, I think I'm going to close the Q&A session. So thank you, Sui. Really appreciate to have you here.
Thank you, Rizky.
No worries. All right. I think I'll move forward to give you the latest updates from the UK. And I think it'll be better if I start the session by using Indonesian language, if that's all right for everybody. So update yang terbaru dari UK, yaitu pertama adalah UK sekarang sudah punya graduate route. Nah, apa sih graduate route ini sebenarnya? Jadi graduate route ini adalah visa yang memperbolehkan international student, khususnya Indonesians, untuk cari kerja dan juga untuk kerja di sana. Tapi please do note bahwa untuk awardee dari Women in STEM sendiri itu masih belum bisa untuk apply graduate route visa. Jadi nanti Sui previously sudah mention beberapa scholarship yang teman-teman bisa ambil juga dari scholarship internalnya dari Teesside. Nah, kalau misalkan teman-teman pakai scholarship internalnya Teesside, itu teman-teman masih bisa untuk ambil graduate route visa ini. Tapi kalau teman-teman hopefully nanti dapat Women in STEM scholarship, do note bahwa teman-teman belum bisa untuk apply graduate route visa. Another thing that yang saya mau sampaikan adalah the United Kingdom sudah mengangkat restrictions COVID-19 as per 19 Juli 2021. Dan recent updates juga bahwa kebanyakan dari orang-orang yang di UK itu 85% mereka sudah mendapatkan vaksin yang kedua di UK. Dan efektif per 22 November 2021 kemarin, pemerintah Inggris atau United Kingdom itu sudah recognize vaksin dari Sinovac, Sinopharm Beijing, sama Covaxin. Jadi teman-teman yang memang sudah divaksin di Indonesia menggunakan Sinovac, AstraZeneca, sudah second jab juga, nah itu sudah diakui, atau bukan diakui ya, atau sudah ter-identify as a fully vaccinated traveler. Apa sih itu fully vaccinated traveler? Nah ini align sama new policy yang dikeluarkan dari UK, efektif per 11 Februari tahun ini. Fully vaccinated travelers yang arrive di England, yang arrive di Inggris, itu sudah tidak perlu karantina lagi ketika arrive ataupun mengambil tes COVID-19 di London atau di UK, jadi sudah tidak perlu. Lalu another updates, international students are also eligible to receive vaccination. Nah, sepertinya hanya segitu saja informasi atau update tambahan dari saya, khususnya seputar UK. Nah, ini adalah beberapa support yang kita provide ke Indonesian students. Yang pertama adalah university selection, jadi British Chamber of Commerce, khususnya di Education Center, itu kita bantu student-student semua, teman-teman semua untuk memilih university. Nah, untuk hari ini ada Teesside University, dan we will provide further assistance kalau teman-teman mau apply to Teesside University dan juga mau konsul soal gimana sih caranya untuk apply Women in STEM Scholarship ini. Yang kedua, kita juga provide support di English Language Training, yaitu IELTS, dan qualification juga. The third thing yang kita support adalah travel, visa, dan accommodation. Jadi teman-teman nanti via Bridgeham Education Center nggak perlu khawatir karena kita juga akan mengurus travel, visanya juga akan kita urus, akomodasinya juga kita akan urus nanti ketika teman-teman sudah arrive atau sudah keterima di Teesside University. Meskipun teman-teman nanti jadi scholarship awardee-nya Women in STEM, kita akan tetap bantuin untuk cari akomodasi, cari travel, dan juga bantuin untuk student visa application-nya. Nah, yang terakhir, I would say our unique selling point is employer matchmaking. Apa sih employer matchmaking? Jadi employer matchmaking ini adalah salah satu support dari kita buat teman-teman yang akan belajar di UK atau akan kembali ke Indonesia untuk kita bantu connect with our member company yang ada di Jakarta. Nah, itu adalah salah satu support juga yang kita tawarkan ke UK alumni. I guess that's all from me. Buat teman-teman yang tertarik, boleh screenshot layarnya sekarang. Boleh screenshot. Ini ada email kita, ada website, ada Instagram, ada Facebook, ada TikTok, dan ada juga LinkedIn. Ya. Sepertinya dari saya segitu aja. Sebelum kita tutup, perhaps Sui and Jun, we will be having the photo sessions. Perhaps you also want to be on camera. Or Sui, do you have anything to say? You raise your hand.
Yes, I do. I just wanted to add on about the question, Rizky, that you asked me just now. Can the students submit the application first without having their IELTS? All right, or TOEFL. All right. Now, and June help me out to check again is that though it is a yes, okay, but we highly encourage students to meet that condition as well, so that their Women in STEM scholarship once it's closed, because then the panel will assess it, so their application is stronger. We wanted that. You know what I'm trying to say over here. Yeah.
Yes, completely.
So, okay. So which means those who have already registered for the IELTS to sit the IELTS somewhere in March, great, okay? Or maybe after that, okay, could you, and you're really keen to go for the Women in STEM scholarship, if you can, try to schedule it, have the test before March, because put it this way, even if you may not make it to that mark, to that grade or that point, you could still receive. And probably you could even get it a better afterward, probably the second try, isn't it? So it's just to show that you are really serious in applying the scholarship. That's what I wanted to add on.
All right, thank you, Sui, for your clarification. So let's say if the student have the firm offer already, then that kind of students with the firm offer will be prioritized to get the scholarship. Is that what you're trying to say?
We are trying to fight for this kind of students.
All right. All right. Thank you, Sui. Much appreciated for your presentation and then for your information to our participants today. So I guess once again, I would like to take this opportunity to extend our gratitude to Institut Teknologi Bandung, to Pak Andika and Mbak Cipta for allowing us, Bridgeham Education Center, along with Teesside University, to deliver this scholarship session. And last but not least, thank you for all participants for making the time to join the session, and I hope the information would be useful. Last thing, perhaps Pak Andika or Mbak Cipta, would you like to add something?
Just a quick thing from me in particular. Thank you very much, Ms. Suyi, Ms. Jun, for the presentation. I think that even though we have a few students here, I think that perhaps later on the information will be distributed and circulated as well. And the few students I think who are here are the ones who are committed. So I think so hopefully we'll have a fruitful or constructive follow-up after this, and so that's the hope. And so it's been wonderful to have this session. Thank you very much.
And once again, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Pak Andika. Appreciate it.